Benji has a habit of kind of like confounding Ethan sometimes. Like Benji shouted at Ethan, I think, on 2 occasions, and Ethan always backs down immediately. He kind of like, he can never quite compute it when Benji loses his temper.
Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 will premiere in theaters on July 12th. So how does this film stand out from the previous Mission Impossible movies?
Well, this film will forever be the film that we made in the midst of a global pandemic. And the challenge of making it, you know, sort of mirrored the mission. We were having our own Mission Impossible in a way, aside to the film. And I am so, so proud of everybody that worked on it, the crew, the cast, everyone that just came together through that adversity to create something which, against all odds, is more extraordinary than anything that's happened before in the Mission Impossible franchise, you know? It's a testament to everyone's dedication to the movie that we got through all the kind of tough times and came out with something as fun as this.
Absolutely. You play Benji, who's a fan favorite, provides some comic relief throughout these Mission Impossible films. So what can we expect from your character in this upcoming film?
Well, I think, you know, Benji has evolved over the years into a very sort of three-dimensional human character. He's often sort of seen as the kind of emotional heart of what's going on. That's not to say that the other characters don't have that depth, because I think they really do. You know, Ethan is a guy that is driven by the love he has for those around him. And I think in this film, you sort of see how Benji is devoted to his friends, you know, to the point where they are the most important thing to him, you know, in his life. And that just raises the stakes. That makes everything even more scary when people get into trouble.
One of the more notable scenes in the movie, and this has been talked about even last year, is when Ethan jumps off of that mountain with his bike. And not to give anything away, but you play a role, Benji plays a role kind of in that scene. So what was your reaction when you learned that Ethan was going to jump off of a mountain with a bike?
I laughed a lot when I was up there on the mountain with Tom the day they did that. Yeah. And we did the scene when Benji is sort of saying, well, you've got a parachute, right? You know, and when I first read that, I really laughed, because he's just really being careful how to suggest this. And Benji has a habit of kind of like confounding Ethan sometimes. Like Benji shouted at Ethan, I think, on 2 occasions, and Ethan always backs down immediately. He kind of like, he can never quite compute it when Benji loses his temper. But knowing that was what was going to happen, and obviously the ramp was all there ready to go. I watched the stunt in the afternoon. I filmed it on my phone, and I was stood with like Rebecca and Haley and Palm and Tarzan, and I mean, it was terrifying to watch it, you know, because it's our friend. He's jumping off a cliff, you know. We don't want him to hurt himself, but I mean, it's all up there on the screen, you know. He knows what he's doing.
Absolutely. And really quick, one last question. You've been a part of this Mission Impossible franchise since Mission Impossible 3. How much have you enjoyed playing this character for nearly 20 years?
It's been a gift, you know. I mean, as an actor, it's a really, really exciting thing to be able to play a character over time and evolve him as he ages and add the experiences he's had in the previous film to the new film. I mean, it's a privilege to get that kind of role, let alone in this franchise, which is just, you know, such a favorite. And I'm really proud, really, really proud.
Absolutely. Well, Simon, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it, and continued success to you.
Thank you, sir. Cheers.